Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jack. Back again to bring you Mythic Desolate Host. Everything you need to know about conquering this fight as a healer, and just some of my quick thoughts and perspective as to what held us up and what we could always do better. All right. Starting it off, we had 5 healers for this fight. We had 3 downstairs. Myself was Disc. We had our Shaman and we had our Holy Pally. And then upstairs, it's much less healing intensive. There's really not a lot going on. We had our Mistweaver Monk and we had a Rested Druid up there. So overall, the idea for this fight is if you're downstairs, there's a lot of healing going on, and quite a bit of burst damage is going to be happening quite a bit with certain players with their debuffs. You definitely want to keep on dispelling the Spirit Chains as rapidly as you possibly can, and you want to keep an eye on the players that are going to be coming downstairs from the upstairs, from the normal Spirit Realm, that need to be topped off very rapidly from their spear debuff and stuff like that. So it's going to absorb a lot of healing, get them topped off, and then they need to drop down to 50% HP so that they're able to actually click on the lantern and go back upstairs again. Our Holy Pally dominated on the healing for this, and it made life a lot easier for me personally as a Disc, so I don't have to worry about, you know, applying atonements on them, getting some quick atonement heals on them, and then them clicking off the buff right when they're done, so that they would then just be able to go upstairs once more. So that made it a lot easier for me when, you know, the Paladin and both the Shaman were able to get really quick coverage on the person that was sent downstairs, get the healing absorb topped off, and then we would just get any dispels we needed on them, and they were able to go on their way once they took sufficient damage. Definitely would recommend your ranged players having cancel aura macros for any hots or any heals or anything like that, so that they're able to go downstairs, get topped off, remove any hots, and then go back upstairs very quickly. It kind of gets very frustrating when they kind of linger down there, and for me as a Disc Priest, I'm using lots of Powered Radiance, and it likes jumping to low health targets. So try as I might, you know, being in range of the Powered Radiance cast, then they're getting Atonement on them, and then they're going to instantly click it off the second that they see it, so I'm wasting a lot of mana in the process there. So getting people sent on their merry way is definitely a big factor. Getting through all of the Wailing Souls is usually not too difficult with your 3 healers. You definitely want to be starting off the Wailing Souls with a pretty strong cooldown of some sort, like just starting it off, for example, as Disc. You know, you may want to just start off by using Barrier and Velens or Light's Wrath or something like that as needed. It's very easy to get full coverage of the group here, so starting it off strong, and then you kind of are able to stabilize. Everyone's able to constantly be healing throughout the middle, and then kind of ending it with another raid cooldown. And that also can give an opportunity for everyone to drink if need be. Once Wailing Souls ends, of course, you're going to have a bunch of ads that are sprouting out that are going to be dropping all kinds of garbage everywhere. When those ads die, they will explode, and they will deal a knockback, so make sure that you're not standing too close to the ledge. We've had a couple people who got knocked off during progression. It's a really easy mistake to avoid. Overall, my plan as Disc to deal with the Wailing Souls is I really liked being able to start off with Rapture and mix in, say, like a Light's Wrath to be able to instantly reverse some of the burst damage. Usually with our 3 healers, we never really had people dropping super low all at the same time from any of the raid damage, so usually I would just kind of use Light's Wrath in a bit more of a sniping fashion, just to be able to get everyone quickly topped off for one big burst near, like I said, near the beginning of the Light's Wrath damage. Being able to start off, of course, with Rapture is a really nice stabilizing factor, so in case people have like dots or any other damage from other sources, they're able to quickly get topped off, not have to worry too much about anything else. The healers are able to kind of get their footing, get used to the damage that's going to be going out, and the healing that they have to do in order to get those people topped off, right? From there, using Evangelism and just using my Powered Radiance charges as efficiently as I possibly could, I was kind of able to get into this nice flow where I'm able to use a Powered Radiance charge, and as the ticks are falling off, I use my second Powered Radiance charge, and by the time that the ticks of the second Powered Radiance are going off, I have my first charge back up and ready again. And that really was perfect because I was able to get coverage on just about everyone in our 10-man group at all times. Of course, being able to mix in Evangelism is so nice, so useful, because you're getting, it's super easy to get everyone in the group covered, get a nice Evangelism off, and you're buying so much time and getting so much extra healing off as well. Ads are, of course, going to be coming up pretty regularly, so having multiple Purge the Wickeds is really easy to do, and just letting them spread from your penance ticks, so that you're not using up too much mana by just tab dotting all these other targets. Just let penance do its job, and it will be very useful. When I found a good time to lay Torrent Pot is actually a few seconds, usually like 15 seconds or so, before the Wailing Souls come out. I did it before the third Wailing Souls came out. I kept an eye on the smashes, which are on the right side of my screen. They're the 4 blasts that are going out every single time. And what I'd generally be looking for is where they generally are positioned, where they're generally kind of cutting through. If you get hit by one of those, you'll get knocked back and take some damage. You really don't want to get your Lay Torn Pot interrupted here, because it'll just really limit how aggressive you can be in keeping people topped off. And one of the biggest frustrations of this fight is how easy it is for people to get dropped very, very quickly with how these mechanics are working, and just if people are not being spread out properly or anything like that. Getting off a good Lay Torrent and making sure that, like I said, just before the Wailing Souls, because you're ideally going to be having it when all the other ads are dead, so there's going to be no knockbacks, there's going to be no goop on the ground, nobody's going to be taking any of the extra damage from it, and that's usually when all the other ranged DPS, or just the DPS in general that are downstairs with you, aren't really doing anything at all. They don't really have too many mechanics that they have to be covering at that time or anything like that. So it's a very chill time that you're able to say, all right, I'm able to drink here. You know, the other 2 healers will be able to spot you for anything else that's really going on, and you can do something similar for them as the third Wailing Souls ends and as you're getting close to transitioning to the Desolate Host boss itself. You're still going to be having the Doom Sundering, which you have to stack up for, and the Sundering Doom, which you have to run away for. So what you're going to be doing here is just basically the same as Heroic. The Sundering Doom is definitely going to be dealing a lot more damage, more often than not, so that's where you want to be making sure that if you have a limited window or limited Power Radiance charges, you really want to be getting coverage on everybody for the Sundering Doom. Doom Sundering, of course, there's really not a huge amount of damage here. You just want to make sure that you're focusing on your tank whenever possible. The majority of our wipes in the final phase really just kind of came from the tanks dying and bad tank swaps, or just the tank maybe getting surprised here and there. So don't be afraid to be aggressive with your external cooldowns, just to make sure that you have something on them in case the worst happens, you know, because it's very, very easy. If one tank dies, well, the mechanic that upstairs needs to be stacking on and downstairs needs to be running away from, well, the boss can easily be moved and easily go the wrong direction, basically, if one of your tanks goes down. So instead of, you know, the boss moving towards the area everyone has to soak up, it's moving towards the group of people that are trying to run away from it. It annihilates all of them, and then the fight's just over. You know, keeping an eye on that, doing whatever you can just to kind of make sure that you always are having coverage on the tank. You're always having, you know, quick heals at the ready to jump on the tank when need be is very, very important, and it'll just make the fight go a lot smoother here. Hope you all enjoyed this quick run through of Mythic Desolate Host. Of course, if you have any kind of questions, definitely let me know. Leave them in the comments below. For this fight, I definitely think it was very, very enjoyable to play this disc, and I was able to deal so much extra damage in the process that it definitely felt super worthwhile. Hope you all enjoyed this quick run through. Let me know if you have any kind of questions. If you want to check out the logs from this fight, any of my UI elements and things like that, they're all going to be linked in the description below, so be sure to check those out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all next time.